You know what? I really don't have a funny thing for this. Do you have a funny thing for this?
I'm dying very slowly. Wait, no, I'm not. Please kiss me. I love you. I'm dying again. Please kiss me. I love you. Goodbye. The end.
I mean, I feel like you're missing a very important, crucial plot point in that they have sex and then she dies.
Oh, I'm very ugly too.
Oh, okay. I guess that's more crucial. What are we talking about
I'm
today?
very ugly. We're talking about Stephen Sondheim's Passion. I want to talk to you about Fosca as a character
Okay.
because there was a lot of trepidation with her throughout the preview process. When she first came on, like in the very first early preview productions, everyone hated her. They hated her so much. Anytime she would come on stage, they would start booing. And when she fell down after the "Is this what you call love" segment, people would scream, "Die, Fosca, die."
What? Wait, you're serious?
This happened.
Why?
This was an audiences hated this character so much.
Why?
I'm going to ask you the same question because I have my answer and I'm very curious as to what you think of her in the final version.
Yeah, if you've ever met somebody who has like no friends at all and you're like the one person to talk to them, they will never leave you alone. They will never ever let you go. Like there was this person at college that I met, and he was like, you know, he definitely had some sort of developmental issue or something like that, but he was very hardcore Trump supporter.
Yikes.
Yeah, so nobody would talk to him, but I was like, well, this guy obviously has some issues, and I don't think he's really a political concern for us. So I feel like it's okay if I talk to him for like a little bit. And then he never let me go. He would just, every time he saw me, he'd talk to me for like 5 minutes. He still messages me on Facebook to this day. And like, it's just because one of these type of people like who have no friends at all, they need someone to connect to. So I can kind of see where she's coming from in that like no one has ever really been like with her. And
nice. Like even remotely
obsessive.
nice.
And then she becomes kind of obsessive about it.
I don't even see her that different from like a nerd character in a movie, a male nerd character that gets the girl in the end through like utter sheer will. Like that's a cliche in most romantic comedies even.
Although I think some people would argue that's a bad cliche that we should.
It is a bad cliche, but the reason why people react so violently to this is probably like the internalized misogyny of just seeing a female in that same role.
Yeah, I was actually considering when watching this, I was like, I wonder how this would fly if it was like gender switched.
It would be Forrest Gump.
It might actually fly better, like, because I think people would respond better to a man constantly pursuing a woman. Jess, this is your favorite Sondheim piece, as you've proudly posted on Twitter already.
Yes, it is. It is definitely my favorite Sondheim musical.
Is it only because of the music, or is there stuff in the plot here that you want to mention?
Who else would have made this show? Let's think about that for one. Because this is a musical based on a movie, the same as fucking Beetlejuice, Bring It On, and all that. Those are all things that this has in common. Who would pick this movie aside from Sondheim? This is the most Sondheimian musical ever.
Yeah, it certainly has his style, and it's very, like, adult, like, very adult. Like, it's not like other musicals that are based on movies are all, like, very commercial, looking to cash in. I don't think this is trying to cash in on anything. Other than maybe Sondheim.
Maybe that's why, maybe that's why it flopped.
Ooh, wait, really?
It was very well received, but didn't do well like most of Sondheim's later work. And this, as far as right now, was the last show he's put like officially on Broadway. Like, and this was the 90s. And this is his third collaboration with James Lapine after Into the Woods and Sunday in the Park with George.
So has he put anything out since this, or is this his?
I mean, he wrote a new song for Into the Woods that wasn't used. He did Roadshow, which never made it to Broadway and was also retitled like 40 times. He's done like additional rewrites to Company for the female edition because they've made her a female in more recent versions.
But he's never actually written like a full show that made it to Broadway since this.
No, this is the last one. This is technically his opus, so to say.
It's a little bit sad. I feel like he could do better.
Why, though? I think it's his best work.
You think this is his best work?
I do. Or at least his most personal work.
Maybe his most personal. I still think Sweeney Todd is better.
Well, this and Sweeney Todd are one of the only ones he's ever sought out himself.
That's true.
This is probably the closest to Sweeney Todd he's been.
I would say that. I think I like this better than Company. I will say that. I'm not sure how he came up with Company. Was that like somebody else's thing?
That was someone else's series of short plays that he just added music to.
Yeah, I think this is better than that. But I think Sweeney Todd is his best work that I've seen.
I mean, you've gone through a good chunk of his things. I mean, I know you're really holding out for the Frogs because you're a weirdo, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that the Frogs is kind of the best thing ever made. Like, I'm very, very hopeful for the Frogs.
I'm assuring you it is not.
Honestly, I'm hyped for the Frogs, and I really think that should be our 150 episode.
I think that might actually be it. But Andrew, who do you think the most relatable character was?
I mean, as far as who I could relate to, probably one of the guys that was playing pool. And like just kind
one
of
the
chilling.
Most useless.
I'm one of the most useless people I've known. So to be fair, I'm sure you relate very strongly to Fosca because you feel like you're dying at all seconds of the day.
I was gonna say the cousin, the one that's like there and involved, but everything's just happening underneath your nose.
And then you get shot by some guy.
Some guy that I am obscenely nice to, like throughout the entire show.
Oh, he didn't throw away his shot. To be fair,
as far as musical duels, this is a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. No throwing away the shot.
The shots were not thrown away. So he wanted the show to both begin and end with an orgasm. That was his.
Of course, that's what he wanted. I want the show to begin and end with an orgasm.
You say that in the British accent when he is like the most American man in the world. It's like, I want the show to begin and end with a lady's orgasm. But then I realized that they needed a coda afterwards to wrap up all the rest of the plot, so we couldn't do that. Still mad didn't happen.
He could have cut it short. He could have cut it short.
Well, you kind of need to wrap up the plot. You can't just end with him fucking Fosca to death. Then the curtains go up and everyone starts bowing.
All right, bye. Everyone out of the audience. We're finishing.
We're done. Speaking of horrible dicks, what do you think of Count Ludwig of Austria, which is something that was not in the original film, but added by Sondheim and Lapine to this musical to give Fosca a backstory?
The Count being like her
ex-boyfriend.
Almost, yeah, he's a rude guy. He doesn't pay the rent and then he leaves.
No, he steals her dowry, wastes all of the money of her and her family, and then when he's found out that he's been cheating, he's like, yep, and I haven't paid the rent, and fuck you. It is like the most comically evil character shoved in the middle of this like very intense drama where everyone is kind of like very dubious and like very you just have this mustache twirling fucking villain.
He just kind of does he even? He's not any of the characters that are in like the present, is he? Because he is like a flashback character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a flashback character.
Yeah, he is. It's kind of funny. When he said that he didn't pay the rent, I laughed. It was funny. That's so silly.
I don't think it's ridiculous.
I don't think it's necessary at all. And honestly, I think it actually kind of hurts it a little bit because I feel like having Fosca be a character that has never been loved, like in any way, would have been stronger.
But I can see the reason why they would want that, because also it would have been a very short musical. It's a one act as is and still fairly short. It's like an hour and a half. And you kind of want to paint Fosca's backstory because they said she was like in her early 20s, but looks like 1,000.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you kind of want to figure out where she's been.
Maybe have something from her childhood or something like that.
Well, they cover that, but and you also kind of wanted to give a reason for the captain. I forget the main guy, the cousin, for him to feel responsible for Fosca's position. Where he was like, I was just happy someone wanted her because she was so ugly. I was blinded because I just wanted to be rid of her, and that's on me, and now I'll forever be guilty about that. And then when Giorgio is like, finds himself actually attracted to her, he's like, nope, I ain't falling for this shit again. I want you dead, motherfucker.
Yep.
I get why you kind of want to set that up, but with a ridiculously evil character like that.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done it in a more subtle way. But honestly, I'm okay with it. It's funny. It's a good laugh line. It's a good joke.
I mean, that entire thing is a huge joke. But it's also funny to say that they mentioned that she had a baby and it died in childbirth, which is also something that's, I don't know, that didn't fit.
Wait, so that means that she has had sex before.
Yes, that is the main thing, that reason why I'm bringing it up.
And didn't die. And also went through childbirth and didn't die?
Yep. And
what disease
then the
did
sickness
she have?
started.
Like, what
and then the
did she
sickness
have?
started after that.
Do they ever say what it is that she has?
It is the doctor, which might be the most useless doctor in any form of media I have ever seen.
Yeah, he's like, can you go see her? Like, I think she might be dying. Can you go check her on her?
You know, if you just make her think you love her, she might live a little bit.
And it's like, oh man, I guess now you do love her, but I'm not gonna let you see her now, because
it's dangerous.
it's dangerous. Yeah, did he say what she had? Because I don't remember.
He said it is an ailment of all the ailments, is basically it.
Okay, so she had COVID-19, and it was like,
and then she gave it to Giorgio.
She didn't wear a mask and gave it to everybody there. Rest in peace, all.
Oh no.